Who's your luminary?
Okay, well, I'd have to say mine would be my dad, my old man.
Why?
Well, he's been through a lot throughout his life. He served 20 years in the Navy, and during that time frame, his father ended up dying, my grandfather, and yet he still persevered and showed strength for his family. And I hope that I can show that determination and support for my own family and sacrificing himself for his family.
Who's your luminary and why?
Okay, my luminary as a person is my husband Freddie, because he's kind and loving, and he has responsibilities, and he knows how to treat people correctly, and he cares about all his family and friends, and always willing to help somebody.
And why?
Yeah, I said Miss Aguilar, okay, is my role model because she teaches for a long time, like more than 20 years. So every time I have a question, I ask her, and she give me an appropriate answer to know how to work with, with students, mostly English speakers.
Who's your luminary?
Steve Jobs.
Why?
He's a visionary.
Luminary. Okay, the person who inspires me would probably be Oprah Winfrey, because of all the things that she's brought to the attention of the American public and all that she does for not just our country but the world. And so I really appreciate her.
Who's your luminary?
Karl Marx.
Why?
He inspired many great nations.
Who's your luminary?
Captain America.
Why?
Because he is bullied as a child, and then he turns super cool, and then he beats up the bad guys.
Who's your luminary?
My luminary is Amy Week.
Why?
Because she's so funny.
That would be my father.
Why?
Because he was a minority immigrant from Mexico. When he came, he received his high school diploma, went to college, and he showed my sisters and I that being a minority, we can still strive to succeed.
Who's your luminary?
My mom, because she's fun and she plays around, and she's really fun to play with because she's not like go do your chores all the time. And she likes to play around, like if you want to play a game, she'll play with you and not say like, no, do your homework first, or eat your vegetables. And yeah, that's luminary.
Nolan Ryan and David Robinson.
Why?
Why? David Robinson because of his faith. He believed in God and was never ashamed of his faith in God. Nolan Ryan, just because of who he is, the kind of person he was, and I named my child after him. So that's why both of those guys are my, you could say, my role models growing up.
Who's your luminary?
Sir Tim Berners-Lee.
Why?
Because he invented this thing called the internet. It's kind of important.
Who's your luminary? Who's your luminary?
Who did I eliminate? I didn't hear you.
Your luminary, like the person who inspires you.
Oh, Sister Gamble, a lady at church. Sister Gamble.
Why?
Because she always encourages me that I can do better and encourage me in my faith.
What?
Your luminary. That's what inspired. Like that's the word we're using.
Jesus.
Why?
Because I'm a Christian, and he inspires me to not be irresponsible and to be a good person and honor my parents.
My mother.
Why?
Because she was a really strong person. She went through so much, and she still was strong. She still had faith. She never gave up. She kept on going. And she taught me that no matter what happens in life, you still keep on going.
Okay. Who's your luminary?
That would be my mom.
Why?
Because she has inspired me to achieve all my goals that I've been wanting to do in life. She's always been very supportive of me, and she's just encouraged me a lot.
Thank you.
I would have to say my luminary is my mom, because she's gone through so much, and yet she still does her best to get a better education and help me out.
My luminary is Steve Jobs.
Why?
Steve Jobs is a really smart, I will say a genius person, who has affected all the people in this age, and who started from the scratch actually. I believe that that will be, you know, for the new generation actually. He is one of the most influential person in the world, and unfortunately he just gone away.
You go first. Who's your luminary?
God.
Why?
Because he made me.
Who is your luminary?
My mother.
Why?
Because she's very hardworking and she tries her best to achieve anything.
Thank you. Who's your luminary and why?
My luminary would have to be the late Carl Sagan. He introduced the world of the 80s to science and understanding. He was one of the most profound people to ever live, and I will dearly miss him.